Welcome back to the channel, everybody. This is the GXSimmer. We're on episode 16 of Nina and Amanda. And I hope you're ready for a really insightful conversation because that's what's going to happen today. And if you like today's content, please like, share, subscribe, click notifications so you always know when I'm coming out with new content. Let's talk about episode 16 of Nina and Amanda. As we last left off, Amanda and Nina had a conversation about Carrie. They discussed what was happening with Nina's fame eclipsing into Carrie's life, making things really difficult for her. Carrie's being relentlessly teased and bullied in school because of it. And that has worn on her a great deal. And Nina is really concerned for her daughter, so she feels at this point, with Carrie, inching on age 13, that, it's time maybe she should live with Amanda and Tony. So they made that decision and they've done that, and we've had that transition now. So, as you can see, Carrie's fully moved into the house. Nina's in her penthouse, loving every single minute of it. She moved in, bought new furniture, got some great things. She kept most of the stuff that came with the penthouse. I mean, the penthouse was really swanky and it had some really expensive stuff that came along with it. So she kept a lot of the stuff that came with it, and she also changed up a lot of other things. She wanted it to be hospitable for when her daughter visits, and she wanted also to have a great place for entertaining and also having her own space that she felt really comfortable in. Because as I've mentioned before, people have always wondered, and I think I've seen some comments about this, why does Nina stay in that cramped cottage? It doesn't even seem like it reflects her personality. Well, the simple truth to that is that it doesn't reflect her personality. It was her parents' cottage. It was the last bit of her parents that she could hold on to. And as we know, sometimes when you lose a parent, if you've ever been through it, I've been through it personally, you try to hold on to anything that reminds you of them during that process. And even to this day, there are things I hold on to of my mother that are very near and dear to me that remind me of her. So Nina basically did the same thing. She decided she was going to hold on to this cottage because it was her last link to her mom and dad. But as she was going through therapy, she realized, I've been holding on to this cottage for so long, and it's not my cottage. This is not my style. And when she bought the penthouse, it really felt like her home. It felt like she belonged there. So that's why she bought the penthouse, because it spoke to her. It was someplace that she felt she belonged in. So, as we know, she's living in her penthouse. She's loving every minute of it, having a great time, enjoying everything that this penthouse has to offer. And Carrie is loving being at Amanda and Tony's here. So, with the school year just about to begin, she would start at the local junior high. She despised those kids back at Henford, and she was happy never to see any of them again. She couldn't wait to go to school with Jane and Hayden, even if they were almost 2 years younger than her. She enrolled in school as Caroline Parker. Her given name was Caroline Alexa Gaban Parker, but the school said she could use Parker as her surname, and she did. She decided that as soon as she was of age to drop Gaban from her last name and be Caroline Parker. Although she loved her mother, she felt her last name caused her enough trouble in her lifetime. Carrie was sitting in the living room when Tony came in and sat beside her. "Hey, what you watching, kid?" he asked. Trauma Central," Carrie said. I've never watched it before, and I've heard you talk about it in Daring Scorpion a million times. Mind if I hang out?" "Yeah, sure," Carrie said. He turned to her and asked, "Everything okay?" "Sorta," Carrie replied. "What sorta?" "It's nothing, really. It's just, I miss my cow. I usually say hi to her in the morning before I go to bed." "Oh," Tony said. "Well, if you want, since tomorrow's Saturday and I'm off from work, why don't we take a trip? We could go to Henford and visit your cow. What do you think?" "You will?" Carrie asked. Sure. If you miss your cow, I'll go with you and maybe Mom too. Okay, Carrie said, watching Fluke play on the floor with her toy. Just as long as Nina doesn't go. Hey, Tony warned. What did we tell you about that? That's not nice, kid. Your mom loves you. Yeah, right. Now, why would you think that? Tony asked. Because she let them make that stupid-ass holiday special, Carrie growled. And she's constantly nagging me about exercise and eating right and BS like that. Oh, is that what you think? Tony asked, giving her the side eye. Yeah, it is, Carrie said. You know, I'm not a little kid anymore. I'm almost grown up. I can think for myself. And I think what she did sucks. If she was a real mother, she wouldn't have sold out. Oh, I forgot. Since when was 13 grown up, really? Well, sort of, Carrie said defensively. Tony chuckled again. Don't be in such a hurry, kid. Look, I know you're upset about that holiday special and how much trouble it cost you. But you should be mad at your mom. She didn't know it would hurt you like that. Yeah? Well, that show and that book is a piece of garbage. I hope I never see the damn thing again, Carrie growled. Hey, look. Your mom wrote that book for you because she loves you. She didn't know that this would happen, kid. She didn't know that, that holiday special would make those girls make fun of you. She wrote that book because she loves you. Sometimes adults don't have all the answers, even when you think we do. And we can inadvertently hurt people without knowing. Really? Carrie asked. Oh, yeah, Tony said. Well, why are you defending her? She's not your friend. You should hear some of the things she said about you, Carrie snapped. She's just snobby and conceited and bossy, and I'm glad I don't live with her anymore. Hey, you know what she said to me the first time she met me? Tony asked. What? Carrie asked. She called me a fanboy, Tony said with a laugh. What? Carrie asked with surprise and a giggle. Yeah, it's true. She turned to your mom and she said, oh, great, you're dating a fanboy. And she was right. I was so floored that a celebrity was standing right in front of me. In fact, a celebrity wrote my favorite movie. Tony told her with another laugh. Are you kidding me? Carrie snorted. God's honest truth, kid. Tony chuckled. But as I got to know her a little bit, I got to see she wasn't so bad. I saw how much she loves you and wants to do right by you. We all love you, and I know it's been hard on you. Growing up is tough. Some days you don't feel like you can do anything right. Yeah, I do feel that way sometimes. I don't like being fat, and I don't like being made fun of either. I thought those girls were my friends. And then they started teasing me. They even told the whole school I liked a boy in class. It was so embarrassing, Carrie said as she sniffled. Hey, kid, you don't have to worry about them anymore. You got a new school and you'll make new friends. Plus, you got your best buddies right next door. Hayden's across the street and Jane's over the bridge. Plus, me and your mama here. And soon, you'll have a sister to play with, and she'll look up to you. You're going to be the big sister, Carrie, so you need to be the one that stands tall and that she thinks is the coolest. Carrie chuckled. I'm going to have a baby sister? Tony nodded. I shouldn't have said anything. Only your mom and I know. So keep that quiet, okay? You got it, Carrie said with a smile. But I don't feel like I'm cool at all. You are, Carrie. I've always known that, he told her. You are so much like your mom. You got those super smarts from her and those beautiful eyes. And from your other mom, and that creativity and spark she has, those high cheekbones, When they made you, they created a very special girl who can go out and conquer the world if she wanted to. Oh, Jack used to call me a science experiment gone wrong. Carrie sniffled. Maybe he was right. No, he's not. Jack was a jerk, and if I ever see him, I will punch him in the nose, Tony told her. Carrie giggled again. I knew you would. Can I ask you something? You know you can't, Tony told her. Well, can I call you Dad? She asked. Tony smiled at her and sniffled. Really? Carrie nodded. Yeah. You may be my stepfather, but to me you are my father, and I love you. So can I? I would love to be your dad, because you know something? You are the daughter I've always wanted. And to me, you are every bit my daughter, and not just a stepdaughter. I love you so much, Carrie. I have a dad. Yeah, you most certainly do, he told her. And as your dad, it falls to me to tell you when I think you're doing something right and when you're doing something wrong. So tell me, why'd you start failing in school? Okay. I wanted to get out of Henford. I hated it. I couldn't stand the teasing and losing my friends, Carrie said. I wanted to live with you and Mom, go to school with Hay and Jane. But I feared hurting Mom's feelings. I thought if I got expelled, I could go to San Sequoia and Mom would be so mad she wouldn't want to live with me. Well, getting expelled was not a good idea. I'm glad that didn't happen. Now that you do live with us, and because I do know that you are super smart, you've got to put the pedal to the metal, kid. Show 'em what you got and burn it up. I know you can do it, Carrie, Tony said to her with a wink. She nodded. I will. I swear I will. You do that, and I promise you things will open for you like you never would believe. It's important to do well in school. It can take you to places you've dreamed of going. Do you have a dream you want to go to when you get older? Yeah, Carrie nodded. I want to be a vet like Mom. But I want to treat horses. I love horses, even though I've never had one. You do, huh? He asked. She nodded. I've never said that to anybody, Dad. Not until now. Well, tell you what. You do well in this quarter, and I will take you out to Chestnut Ridge where you can ride horses. Carrie's eyes got large and her smile stretched from ear to ear. Really? I promise. But you gotta put in the work, kid, he told her with a smirk. You gotta show those morons in Henford that you are 10 times the kid they thought you were. You break down those barriers and you get it done. I know you got the heart to do it. I have seen it since the day I met you. You go get him, Carrie. You show him what Caroline Parker's made of. I will, Dad. I promise, Carrie said. I'll do it. And one other thing. You stop calling your mom Nina. This is the last I want to hear of it, okay? He asked sternly. She nodded. I promise. I'll stop. And I'll stop cursing, too. Don't worry about that one. I let go of a few of those from time to time, he said with a chuckle. And your mom? Oh, I haven't even gotten started on that topic. She laughed back. I love you, Dad. Tony smiled as he hugged her and said, Yeah, I love you too, kid. Go on, get to bed. I'll see you in the morning. Tony watched as Carrie ran off to go to bed, and then he went upstairs to his bedroom where Amanda was lying on the bed watching TV. Hey, you were down there a while, she said as he came in and sat down on the bed. Yeah, I was just having a chat with Carrie, he told her as he ran his hand over her stomach. Any day now, huh? That's right, she said, nervous. As all hell, he joked, but happy. Hey, guess what? What? She asked. Carrie asked to call me Dad tonight, he said with a smile. Wow! I'm sure Nina's going to love that, Amanda said sarcastically with a laugh. But I'm glad. You know, I've been thinking. Maybe we should offer an olive branch to Nina, Tony said. She's been okay for the most part. You don't fight with her as much. I would even call it civil. Give it time. She's backing off because I am pregnant, Amanda said. Trust me, Nina has a whole case of vitriol. She's just waiting to unload on me once this baby comes. She just wants the right opportunity to do so. Oh, don't you think it would be better if you guys were, friends? He asked. Hello, this is Nina we're talking about here. The woman spits venom every time I'm near her, Amanda growled. And at one time, you were friends before you became lovers, Tony said. I'm just thinking, because Carrie's going through a lot right now, and when the baby comes, attention might shift, it's just good to have one less thing to stress us out about. That is a good point, Amanda said as she sighed. And didn't you say when she came here last, you two sat down, had a conversation, and were nice to one another? Well, yeah, that was true, but only because I was... And what about your 42nd birthday party? Didn't she send you a birthday card? Okay, yeah, she did, but it only said happy birthday on it. Let's give her a chance, Amanda, Tony said. It's better for Carrie to see us be friends than enemies. Plus, I think sometimes she misses being at family gatherings. Haven't you noticed? Nina hasn't been to many of them when we go, or she leaves early. Really? Amanda asked. Well, she was at Mom and Dad's last time. And how long did she stay for? I looked at her. I could see she was sad and uncomfortable. She doesn't have anyone in her life. I think Nina's lonely, Tony said. And when the baby comes, Carrie is going to talk about the baby and tell all kinds of stories to her, make her feel even more isolated and maybe even more bitter than she is now. So what you're proposing is a truce? With Nina? Amanda asked. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Tony said. And if we have a truce, she may become a genuine friend of ours, which would be good for Carrie and our future children. Children? Amanda asked with a laugh. Honey, let me get through this baby first. Just think, not having to worry about fighting with her over conditions of the divorce and Carrie. What if we could be friends with her? How much better would that be for Carrie? You're serious about this, Amanda said. Absolutely. To me, Carrie is not just my stepdaughter. She is every bit my daughter. I want what is best for her because I love her, I love you, and I love our baby, and I want our kids to see me be the best dad I can possibly be. I also want them to see the best man I can be, he told her with a smile. Amanda smiled as she reached for his hand. Your wisdom surprises me at times. Your heart is so good and kind. How is it you can do that, Amanda? I walked away from my brother, who was also my best friend, and I may never forgive him. But I'll tell you, carrying that bitterness around makes you a cold person. There are times I want to call Adam and say hi, but I don't. One day I will, but for now I can't. What I can do is help others learn about forgiving and healing. That's what I want you to learn from me. You should forgive Nina, even if the past still hurts to this day. You amaze me, Amanda whispered as she held on to his hand. Thank you. I love you, he told her as he reached over and kissed her. Also, I have a feeling on Carrie's next report card, we're going to see a big change, and if we do, saddle up. What? Amanda asked. He smirked and said, You'll see. Why do I think I'm not going to like this? Amanda asked. Oh, don't worry, honey. You won't. He chuckled as he went to the other side of the bed and hopped in. but she's going to love it. Okay, Amanda laughed. We'll see on the next report card. In roughly 3 weeks, Zoe Camilla Campos came into the world right around the second week of October. She weighed in at 8 pounds and 4 ounces. Her cousin, Robert Lucas Parker III, arrived a week before her. Then Jada and Kent's first child, Zachary Kent Uchida, arrived 2 weeks after Zoe. Since San Myshuno was in the same school district as San Sequoia, Nina had kept Carrie at her home when Zoe was born, since Amanda was in the hospital for a few days after. Plus, Carrie could catch the bus to school and not have any interruption for school. When Carrie first saw the penthouse, she was amazed by it. She couldn't believe that her mother was living in a palace, and her feelings of hatred for it quickly disappeared. She especially loved the delicious meals that the chef prepared for her exclusively and the huge TV her and her mom had to watch Trauma Central on. She also loved the giant pool on the patio, and the views were incredible. Plus, there were no paparazzi anywhere except near the front of the building, and Carrie always came in from the back entrance. Plus, she was told that Daisy would be taken care of at the cottage until they found a buyer for it, and Carrie could visit her regularly. This made Carrie a little happier, knowing she could visit her animals in Henford. Today, Nina and Carrie drove back to Amanda's house for Zoe's homecoming. Tony and Amanda had a large party at their house to celebrate Zoe's arrival. Carrie couldn't wait to get home. It was starting to get dark out. She was so excited. She couldn't wait to see her baby sister for the first time. Carrie had loved Zoe from the first day she was told about her, and now she couldn't wait to see her with her own eyes. Nina didn't want to stick around for long. She just wanted to go. She didn't belong there anyway. She felt like such an outsider. That wasn't really her family. Her family were long since dead except for Alexa and Carrie. It was better just to go back home. She watched as Carrie ran up the walkway to Tony and gave him a big hug, saying, "Hi, Dad!" He gave her a hug back and ushered her inside. Just as Nina was about to leave, she heard Tony call out to her, "Hey, where are you going? Come join the party." Nina was surprised and turned to look at him. "It's okay, Tony. Family's there. I've got stuff to do." "Your family, Nina?" She looked over at him strangely. "What?" "Come on, join the party," he said, pointing to the front door. "You gotta try my wings. You've never had them before. I make them pretty good if I do say so myself. Plus, my black bean chili. Why not come and hang out, eat, drink? Your driver could come too. I bet he's hungry. I'll make you one of my best cocktails. You'll love it." "Why are you being so nice to me for?" Nina asked. "I don't deserve it. I haven't been nice to you at all. In fact, I've been pretty rude to you. Why are you being so kind to me for?" "Well, seeing as though you and Amanda have Carrie, and I love Amanda and Carrie, we should try to be friends. You know, for Carrie's sake. It's better for her to see us be friendly than angry at each other. And I know the history you and Amanda have, but maybe it's time for forgiveness on both sides. Don't you think so?" Tony grinned and then continued. "So here's my invitation. Please join the party. Everyone would love to see you. Your whole family is here. And I'd like you to meet my baby daughter. She's so pretty. Like her mom. What do you say?" "Really?" Nina asked in a skeptical manner. Tony gave her a warm smile and said to her, "Come on in. You'll have a great time. How happy would Carrie be to see us all be pals? I don't want you to feel like an outsider anymore, Nina. And I know you feel that way, but you're not. You're family. You're Carrie's mom. So come on and join us," as he shut the door behind him. Everyone at the party was happy to see Nina there. They gave her hugs and chatted. Tony pointed out the food. Then Tony went and made Nina his signature cocktail. Nina loved it. Amanda came down the stairs, seeing Nina sit at the bar having a drink and chatting with everyone. She smiled and walked over to her. And for the first time in years, they hugged one another as Amanda welcomed her to her home and offered to introduce her to her baby daughter. Nina overheard Carrie say, "Are they friends now, Dad?" Tony responded, "Maybe." And then, when Nina glanced over at him, he winked at her. That's going to do it for episode 16 of Nina and Amanda. And as we can see, Nina and Amanda have basically begun to rebuild a friendship, which is really great. And basically, I think this episode teaches about forgiveness, that no matter what someone has done to you, you can always forgive them at some point. And I just hope that you enjoyed this episode. I certainly had a great time writing it. I think that it's a really fantastic part of the story, with Carrie calling Tony dad and Nina being accepted into the family and being made to feel like she's part of the family, which of course she's always been, but she's never felt that way since the divorce. And now they have a chance to rebuild a friendship, which is really great. So, if you like today's content, please like, share, subscribe, click notifications so you always know when another episode is coming out. I'd like to thank you so much for helping this little channel to grow. Every like, every share, every view, every subscription means so much to me, and I thank you profusely. You truly mean so much. And big shout out to KT from Just a Mom That Sims. KT, I know you're here every week watching. I really appreciate that, and I love your content too. And also I want to give a big shout out to Sierra at Bagel Sims. She's fantastic. I love her content as well. You should check it out. Links down in the description. And also check out Nina's penthouse built by Deligracy. That is in the description as well. Until next time, this is Jen, the GXSimmer. I'll see you in episode 17 of Nina and Amanda. And if you want to see more episodes, just click on the playlist over here. And you can watch the entire episode from the beginning if this is your first time. Take care. Bye-bye.